Yam Shaivam Samupasate Shiveti Brahmeti Vedantino Buddha Buddhaiti Pramana Pachava Karteti Nayaikaha Oranditata Jaina Sasanarata Karmeti Mimamsakaha Suyambo Vidadhato Vanshita Phalam Trilokanato Harihi. A universal prayer by the Hindus. May the Lord of the universe, the remover of all evil, whom the devotees of Shiva worship as Shiva, the Vedantists as Brahman, the Buddhists as Buddha, and we may add the Christians as Father in heaven, the Jews as Jehovah, the Muslim as Allah. May all these divine beings help us, guide us, and show us the path of blessedness, so that we may attain peace and bliss in this life. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Peace, peace, peace be untold. This morning our subject is Ramakrishna's message, Encircled, the globe. It is an interesting subject. Vedanta, the Hindu scripture says God exists. Bhagavatam, the another scripture says God exists. God descends, comes to this world. He calls. And He plays with human beings, which He created. We are all playmates of God. And this world is the stage where we are acting in our different roles. That is the way we view about life. God descends. Why does He descend? Vishnu Purana says, Swadharma karma vimukha Krishna Krishneti vadino teharer deshino mudha dharmartham janmayate hori. There are some people in this world they call God, God, God. They do not practice religion. They do not do their duties. Then what happens? Chaos. So God descends to demonstrate how to practice religion, how to follow the path of peace and bliss in life. Krishna also mentioned in the Gita, I shall not tell too much Sanskrit, when the religion declines, the religion prevails, God incarnates. To protect the good, to punish the wicked, He takes form in every stage, every age. That Krishna says in the Gita. Yada yada hi dharmasya. So God comes, this is not a fantasy. We find Rama came, Krishna, Buddha, Jesus, Moses, Muhammad, Chaitanya, Ramakrishna. These are the different prophets, incarnations of God, descended to this world. Why? To restore the eternal religion. Are they different? No. The same moon rises again and again. Similarly, the same God takes different forms at different times, at different places to fulfill the need of the age. That is the way it works. Ramakrishna was born in 1836 and passed away in 1886 at the age of 51. The place he was born is 60 miles northwest of Calcutta, a remote village. His family was very, very poor. I am just giving a brief description about Sri Ramakrishna. Then he went to a village school and learned alphabet, how to read and how to write. Then he became a dropout. He did not like that education. Why? He noticed the goal of this education is bread earning, money-making education. I don't want that education. I want that education which will teach me how to realize God. We go to the universities. What do? We buy education, they sell education. And with that education, we make money. It is a money-making education. I want that education which will help me to realize God. He did not go to school. When his father died, when he was 6 years old, he had first experience of the cosmic consciousness. He saw in his village a deep black cloud and a flock of white crane is flying behind it. And seeing that, his mind merged into the infinite. And he fell down. 6 years old, experienced cosmic consciousness. When he was 16 years old, came to Calcutta with his elder brother. The brother taught him some Sanskrit and how to worship. Then his brother took a job as a priest in the temple garden of Dakshineshwar, which was established by Rani Rashmuni, a very wealthy woman. It is only 4 miles north from Calcutta on the bank of the Ganges. I remember I used to go there when I was 14 years old and meditate in Sri Ramakrishna's room. Beautiful temple garden. His brother engaged him to perform worship in the Krishna temple. Unfortunately, his elder brother died in 1856 from heart attack. He was 19 years old. He had to take the job of worshipping the Divine Mother, Kali. He was thinking, is really God real? Or it is fantasy, it is illusion? Is this image real? He was thinking, who takes away the mind from God? I shall give up those things. He found lust and gold, worldly sexual enjoyment, takes away the mind from God, and money. Immediately he gave up. His giving up and our giving up are not the same. His giving up money goes away the mind forever. Do you know what is a real education? Real education is the nervous association of ideas. He could not touch money all through his life. If somebody touches money, immediately his breath will stop. And there will be tremendous pain in his body. I renounced. He took money and clay, money, clay, and threw away into the Ganges and never touched the money. He lived 51 years without touching money. His life is something really interesting, amazing. Then in 1956, he was yearning, longing for God. Mother, do thou reveal unto me. Seeing this setting sun, he used to cry, Mother, another day is gone in vain. Another day is gone in vain, still thou art not revealed unto me. He cried to the Divine Mother. Then, one day, out of he could not bear any more pain, he took the sword. He did not. He was about to hold the sword of Kali to cut his own throat, neck. Immediately, Divine Mother appeared. So he had the vision of the Divine Mother, God, 1856. Next 24 years, he explored. He established his own school in Dakshineshwar. How to realize God. That is the name of the school. I gave the name, of course. God Realization School. Will you find any place in America or any place in the world? Nowhere. How to realize God. He practiced various branches of Hinduism and experienced God in every way, every path. He practiced 64 branches of Tantra under the guidance of a woman guru, Bhairavi Brahmani. Then a Punjabi monk came to Dakshineshwar, Totapuri. He learned Vedanta from him and experienced that Advaita Vedanta. Then he practiced Islam. He took initiation, Allah mantra, and he repeated Allah, 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 and experienced Allah. Then he practiced Christianity and had the vision of Jesus. Thus, after realizing God in different paths and different religions, he proclaimed, Jato mat, tato path. As many paths, as many faiths, so many paths. Do not quarrel, fight about religion. Religions are not God, religions are paths. First see God. Then his disciples began to come from 1879. He had 16 disciples. And Swami Vivekananda was his main disciple. What happened? It was 1893. Columbus discovered America in 1492. So in 1892, the American people were observing Columbian Exposition. 400 years completion of Columbus's discovery of America. What the Americans wanted to show? The advancement of science and technology and religion, thought. The American people, first time, brought all religion representatives on the same platform, 1893, 11th of September. It never happened in the religious history of the world. All religious leaders of the world on the same platform. It was a very big convention. The magnitude of the parliament is noteworthy. It continued 7 days from 11th September to 27th September. There are 3 sessions on each day, and each session continued 2 to 3 hours. There are 115 speakers. Swami Vivekananda speaks 6 times. The audience was 7,000. It is in the Art Institute in Chicago, still there. The Columbus Hall and the Hall of Washington. And we have some pictures of that hall. There, Swami Vivekananda presented Sri Ramakrishna's message. Sri Ramakrishna's message. Look, within 10 years after Sri Ramakrishna's passing away, his message encircled the globe. If you read the history, Buddhism spread 250 years after the death of Buddha, during the time of King Ashoka. Christianity spread in England and European countries in 597 AD by St. John, and Pope Gregory was then Pope in Rome. It took many, many, many years to spread a religion. But Ramakrishna's message, Ramakrishna's religion, spread within 10 years due to the modern technology. Amazing. What I shall tell you more about it. What Swamiji says, harmony of religions. Each representative was trying to present and glorify his or her own faith. But Swamiji spoke about on behalf of all religions. So the American people heard something new, interesting. America is a new country. They love something new. Religion. If you read the history, you will find the main focus of religion of the 19th century was reason. People tried to understand God through brain. In the 20th century, the main focus of religion was humanism. If religion cannot do any good to human beings, what good is that religion? Throw away that religion. And the 21st century, the main focus of religion is mysticism, experience. People say we read enough. We heard many sermons, many lectures. We saw many things. Now we want experience. That is the reason you see the modern generation are speaking about we are religious. We are not religious. We are spiritual. We want to be spiritual. We are spiritual. Experience. Experience. Experience, realization. Religion means realization. That Sri Ramakrishna says again and again. Doctrine, dogmas, no. Experience. Experience. Interesting. In February 1896, in Madison Square Garden in New York, Swami Vivekananda gave a lecture on his guru, my master. He said, I learned from my master that the religions of the world are not contradictory or antagonistic. They are but various phases of one eternal religion. We must respect all religions. What Swamiji said, He was telling that my Guru, he wanted this universal religion. I shall talk to him about this universal religion later. Now I shall tell you, I shall go back a little. It was in 1884. Sri Ramakrishna was alive, was in Dakshineshwar. Holy Mothers brought food for him, lunch, and found he was on his bed, unconscious. So she was thinking perhaps he passed away. But after some time, Sri Ramakrishna came back from Samadhi. He was in Samadhi, one with God. Then he told about his experience. Look what he said. I was in the land of the white people. Their skin is white. Their hearts are white. And they are simple and sincere. It is a very beautiful country. I think I shall go there. So Sri Ramakrishna came to the West through Samadhi in 1884. And Vivekananda came in 1893. It is amazing that Sri Ramakrishna traveled in the West through subtle body. How? I shall give you three incidents. When Swamiji was, after Chicago Parliament, he became very famous. He was the main focus in the Parliament of Chicago. So he has so many invitations. He says, I have to speak nearly 12 to 14 lectures a week. Sometimes I would think that perhaps I have no more ideas. But at night time, I heard a voice. And that voice would tell me what I would have to speak next day. Ramakrishna used to guide him. Second, in Boston, in Detroit in 1894, some missionary people were trying to kill Vivekananda, adding poison in the coffee. Sri Ramakrishna appeared before him, don't drink that coffee, there is poison. In 1915, Swami Vivekananda was coming from London to New York. He was supposed to take a boat, Lusitania. Sri Ramakrishna, he went to buy the tickets. He heard a voice, don't go by this boat. He did not come. That boat was torpedoed. It is his First World War. That boat was torpedoed by the Germans, British boat, sank into the Atlantic Ocean. I'm just telling you how Sri Ramakrishna, through subtle body, protected his disciples. Amazing. Then, how Ramakrishna's message came to the West. 5 disciples of Ramakrishna came to the West. Vivekananda, Sharadananda, Abhedananda, Turiyananda, and Trigunatitananda. 5 disciples. Then came the next generation of the monks. Then we came. We have 350 centers, Vedanta centers all over the world, 2,000 monks. So, came through these disciples, came through the generation of monks, then came through literature. It is amazing that first English biography was written by Frederick Max Muller, a German Orientalist who was a professor of Oxford University. He wrote a real Mahatman in the 19th Century magazine. Then when he came, Swamiji went to London in 1896, met Max Muller, and Max Muller expressed a desire to write a biography of Sri Ramakrishna. So Swamiji asked Sharadananda to help him and give him some teachings. So in that book we find 382 teachings of Ramakrishna. Max Muller added in his book. Second biography was written in 1928 by Romarola, the famous Nobel laureate, wrote Swamiji's and Sri Ramakrishna's biography in French. Look what he wrote in the introduction. I am brought to Europe, as yet unaware of it, the fruit of a new autumn, a new message of the soul, the symphony of India, bearing the name of Ramakrishna. The man whose image I have evoked was the consummation of 2000 years of spiritual life of 300 million people. Very poetic, very poetic. In the epilogue of that book, Rolla wrote, the man himself was no more. His spirit had departed to travel along the path of collective life in the veins of humanity. I like this word. The man is no more, but his spirit had departed to travel in the veins of the collective life of humanity. Very poetic. Then in 1964, Christopher Isherwood wrote Sri Ramakrishna's biography, Ramakrishna and his disciples. In the beginning he says that Ramakrishna is a spiritual phenomenon. I do not like to introduce Ramakrishna to my readers as a saint, as a prophet, or a God-man, or a avatar. These are all emotive words. Isherwood writes, emotive words. I shall introduce him as a spiritual phenomenon. A phenomenon means extraordinary, something extraordinary and mysterious. That is called phenomenon. So Ramakrishna is extraordinary and mysterious. Very interesting. Then came many, many Westerners to know about Sri Ramakrishna. Sri Ramakrishna's teachings were translated by Swami Nikhilananda in 1942, the Gospel of Sri Ramakrishna. It was edited by Margaret Wilson, the daughter of President Wilson. Joseph Campbell, the famous Orientalist. Aldous Huxley wrote the foreword. That book created a tremendous impact on the Western religious and intellectual field. It has been translated into many major languages of the world. Swamiji says about Sri Ramakrishna, be spiritual and realize truth for yourself. He left every religion undisturbed because he had realized that in reality, they are part and parcel of one eternal religion. Now, Ramakrishna was the emerged, that is the way Sri Swami Vivekananda wrote the salutation mantra in Ramakrishna. Sthapakaya cha dharmaisya sarva dharma sarupine avatara burishthayo Ramakrishna te nama. I bow down to Sri Ramakrishna, who came to establish the eternal religion. Not eternal, it's a universal religion. We have eternal religion, Sanatana Dharma. He brought universal religion. And he was the embodiment of all religions. And he was foremost among the avatars, divine incarnations. Anyhow, that is the way Swami Vivekananda introduced Sri Ramakrishna. It was in 1894 December, 30th December. Swami Vivekananda lectured in Brooklyn Ethical Association in New York. There he made a statement. I have a message to the West, as Buddha had a message to the East. What was the message? Vedanta. What is Vedanta? We know Shankara's Vedanta. Shankara, do you know what Shankara says? Shulakardhena prabhakshami jaduktam grunta kochivi brahmasittam jaganmitha jiva brahmaiva nambara. What has been enumerated in millions of books that I shall tell you in half a verse. Brahman alone is real. This world is apparent, not real. And all human beings are nothing but God. That is Vedanta, whole Vedanta. Swamiji, what is the message? What is the Vedanta? Let me tell you the main four tenets of Vedanta. First, divinity of human beings. Swamiji said, each soul is potentially divine. The goal is to manifest this divinity by controlling nature, external or internal. Do this either by work or worship or psychic control or philosophy, by one or more or all of these, and be free. This is the whole of religion. Doctrine, dogma, rituals are nothing but secondary details. Divinity of man. You see, those who are Christians, they have a traditional faith. They believe in doctrine of original sin, that Adam committed sin, that sin is continuing to human race, only you will be saved by Jesus. That is their belief. Original sin. I am a sinner. I remember one of our devotees took to her grandchild to a church for that, what is called the blessed, the thing. So what happened? The minister was telling, you are a sinner. Are a newborn baby, how can it be a sinner? Well, Swami, I was broken-hearted. On the 19th September, 1893, Swamiji raised a paper on Hinduism at the Parliament of Religions in Chicago. There he mentioned, the Hindus will never call you sinners. Ye are the children of immortal bliss. Sinners, it is a sin to call a man so. It is a standing libel of human nature. Swamiji opposed the doctrine of the original sin. Atman, there is no sin in the Atman. You may do some bad work, sinful act. That is the law of karma. You will suffer. But by nature, your true nature is divine. True nature is your consciousness. Consciousness cannot be polluted. Pure consciousness that you are. That Swamiji is trying to teach in this country. The divinity of soul. The second is the unity of existence, is the foundation of the ethical codes. Very interesting. Watch what the Chicago branch is. I want you to read that golden rule to you. I have here. The Hinduism says, Whatever you consider injurious to yourself, never do to others. This is the eternal dharma. Buddhism says, hurt not others in ways that you yourself would find hurtful. Christianity says, treat others the way you want them to treat you. This is the law and the prophet. Islam says, no one of you is a believer until he desires for his brothers that which he desires for himself. Other religions, Confucianism, Taoism, Zoroastrianism, all religions talk about this golden rule. Do to others as you expect others do to you. That is called existence. Very interesting, that word. Unity of existence. Do you know what Vedanta discovered? Unity in diversity. All people are different. But there is one thing in common, that is consciousness. I give an example. Here is 4 billion cups of water. And here is the sun. What do you see? You see 4 billion reflected sun. So all these human beings are reflected gods. That reflection is consciousness. On your mind, that consciousness is reflecting. That is you, me, everybody. Without consciousness, we are dead. That consciousness is God. That Vedanta teaches. When you experience that consciousness, you cannot hate anybody. You cannot kill anybody. Unity of existence, unity in diversity. If somebody cuts your body, blood will come, red blood. My body, you cut, red blood will come. Just see, unity is there. All red blood is in human system. But your body complexion, my body complexion may be different. Doesn't matter. Unity in diversity. That is the second tenet of Vedanta. Third, the oneness of Godhead. God is one. You have seen our sign there. Ekang sad vipra bahuda vadanti. The truth is one, such as called by various names. Oneness of Godhead. I remember I think it was 1983, 84, I was invited to Channel 4, KMX television station in downtown. The program, Confluence, every Sunday morning, half an hour. So I was in half an hour time. The man who interviewed me and says, I remember his name, Julian Bell. He's a Catholic. Swami, before you go in front of the camera, I have a simple question. Is Hindu God, Christian God, Jewish God, Muslim God, are gods different? I said, when the sun rises, can you say it is a Hindu sun, Christian sun, Jewish sun, Buddhist sun? Can you go and put a stamp on the sun? Swami, I got my answer. Let us go in front of the camera. Beautiful program. God is one. And sometimes we think that how our Swami, our Prabhupada used to make a joke. If in one car, Buddha, Christ, Ramakrishna, Muhammad, if they are in one car, they will embrace each other. But one Hindu, one Christian, one Muslim, one Jewish are in one car, they will fight one another. Swami Prabhupada used to tell that. Next is harmony of religions. Fourth, all religion harmony. There are many good people in all religions. And some fanatics are also there. Fanatics fight, And those who are deeply spiritual, they enjoy the bliss of God. That Ramakrishna said, do not fight. His example is, he gave two parables of Ramakrishna. You drink, you call it water. I drink, I call it jal. This person drinks, he call it pani. This person drinks, he call it aqua. But you are drinking the same thing. Sri Ramakrishna told another parable. Some blind men went to see the elephant. The first one touched the leg of the elephant. Elephant is just like a pillar. The second one touched the belly of the elephant. Elephant is just like a big water barrel. The third man touched the ear of the elephant. Said elephant is just like a winnowing fan. So all these people touch religion and have partial experience. Why? Because they are blind. But if you have good view, full eyes, you can see the whole elephant. Sri Ramakrishna showed his disciples whole elephant so that they cannot form any kind of sect. Vedanta is a non-sectarian religion. If you see the whole elephant, you cannot form a sect. Or those who form the sect, they have partial experience, not full experience. They have experience, but partial. There are 296 Christian denominations. Christian denominations in US and Canada. They are all followers of Christ, but they have different views. That's it. Vedanta in the West. Swamiji says America is a grand field for Vedanta. Why? Because American people love two basic things: democracy and freedom. Vedantic conception is a democratic conception of God. Everybody is God. That Vedanta teaches. Democracy. I remember when I was in college, we had to memorize the definition of democracy. Government of the people, by the people, for the people, which was told by Abraham Lincoln. That is the best definition of democracy in one sentence. Government of the people, by the people, for the people. Vedanta is a democratic conception of God. Second, American people love freedom. The chosen deity of the American people is Statue of Liberty near Newark Harbor. I remember, I think in 1970s or 80s, I went there and I crossed it and went inside. There is a spiral. It's a big statue. I went up to the shoulder and saw the New York City. Statue of Liberty. Interesting. So Vedantic, all Vedanta books you will see at the end, Jivan Mukti. Liberation, liberation, liberation. That is the, all Vedanta books will finally tell you liberation is the goal, Mukti. Be one with Brahman. So liberation, Mukti, liberation is the song of the soul. American people always fight for freedom, freedom. They cannot bear slavery. Very interesting. On the 28th, 23rd February in the Golden Gate Hall in San Francisco, Swamiji gave a lecture, The Ideal of Universal Religion. Then on 8th April 1900 at San Francisco, Swamiji gave a lecture. I love that lecture. Is Vedanta the future religion of the world? What does it mean? You see, if you want to form any kind of religion, you need three things. First, a personal God. Second, a prophet. Third, a book. Without God, without Jesus Christ, without Bible, there is no Christianity. Without Allah, without Muhammad, without Quran, there is no Islam. Without Buddha, without Tripitaka, there is no Buddhism. But Vedanta is a very, very interesting religion. The God in Vedanta is impersonal, Satchidananda. Existence, consciousness, bliss. That is God. But we have 33 million gods and goddesses, but our real God is Brahma, Satchidananda. Second, prophet. We have so many avatars and saints, innumerable. So we have not a single prophet. I remember it was in Santa Barbara. An American came to ask one of our nuns there, who is the prophet of this organization? She says, it is a non-profit organization. It is a non-profit organization. She gave a funny answer. Third, so we have many teachers. Books, we are not guided by any books. We have Gita, Chunji, Bhagavata, Upanishad, thousands and thousands, Puranas, thousands and thousands of books. Vedanta is very interesting. If you do not like Rama, check Krishna. If you do not like Krishna, check another body. Plenty of choice. If you do not love anybody, love another person. The founding fathers of America put in the Constitution freedom of religion. It is a great thing the American people did it. In America, everybody can practice his own religion because Constitution gave the power. I remember during the bicentennial function in 1976, you see, America was independent in 1776. So in 1976, there was a bicentennial function in Smithsonian Institution in Washington, D.C. I went there and saw that exhibition. Name of the exhibition was Abroad in America. 29 famous people came from various parts of the world and came to America and left a legacy, something for the American heritage. Swami Vivekananda was one of them. It's a big, I made a mistake. I did not take any picture there. But I bought a book, The Abroad in America, that book is with me. And I wrote an article on that. A long article about Vivekananda. So you see, American people recognize Swami Vivekananda's contribution. Vivekananda means Ramakrishna. If there is one religion in the world, what will happen? Could you imagine what will happen? Boring, boring, boring. If I ask you, you eat hamburger in the morning, breakfast, lunch, hamburger, dinner, hamburger. Day in, day out, month after month, year after year. What will happen? You will be crazy. Only hamburger, nothing else. One religion. I sometimes say, do you know what I say? McDonald's only attracts only few people. But the fancy restaurant and a wide range of menus attract all kinds of people. Look at the restaurants who has the good menus. Swamiji says, what I want to propagate is a religion that will be equally acceptable to all minds. It must be equally philosophic, equally emotional, equally mystical, and equally conducive to actions. That means he was talking about 4 yogas. I remember it was in 1980s. Houston Smith and myself, both we are speaking in Kansas City. So do you know what happened? I was telling Houston, these 4 yogas, Karma Yoga, Jnana Yoga, Bhakti Yoga, Raja Yoga, this yoga you do not have in your Christianity. No, Swami, we have. Jesus said that. Then how? Swami, look, Jesus said, love thy Lord with all thy heart, that is Bhakti Yoga. All thy soul, that is Jnana Yoga. All thy mind, that is Raja Yoga. All thy strength, that is Karma Yoga. Christ said that. Moreover, Christ said, my Father's house has many mansions. So, other religions also have a scope in Christianity. He was a very broad-minded person. He wrote World's Religions, famous man. He was the president of our society also in 1940s, 50s. Then I remember one young man got up and said, you are a Christian. You go to the Buddhist, Dalai Lama, you go to Muslim, and you go to Vedanta. Why? Then he started shouting, young man, hold on your faith. I go other religions, they are my vitamin, food supplement. You eat your own food, I eat my own food, but other religions I take as vitamin, food supplement. They gave me strength, joy. Very good answer he gave. If only there is one religion, do you know what Swami Vivekananda said? I am not against any sect. I am glad that sects exist. And I only wish they may grow on, multiplying more and more. Why? Simply because of this, if you and I and all who are present here were to think exactly the same thoughts, there would be no thoughts for us to think. We know that 2 or more forces must come into collision in order to produce motion. It is the clash of thought, the differentiation of thought, that awakens thought. Now, if we all thought alike, we would be like Egyptian mummies in a museum, looking vacantly at one another's faces, no more than that. I love that statement. You in the museum, you look at me, I shall look at you. Eternally, we are looking each other. Horrible. We need variety. That Swamiji said. Vivekananda visualized the religion of the future, where science and religion will meet and shake hands. Poetry and philosophy will become friends. Reason and faith will embrace each other, and heart and intellect will forget their conflict forever. That is, Swamiji was talking about the concept of universal religion. Sri Ramakrishna said, "Ame 5 benune khai." I love to eat with various dishes. আমি 5-7 ফোকরে বাঁশি বাজাই. I played the flute with 7 holes and creates many ragas and raginis. I do not like that bagpipe. only monotone. No. Variety, multiplicity. That's Sri Ramakrishna taught. It is really interesting way the Sri Ramakrishna said. And if you realize God, do you know what he says? Shikane shopshiale rakra. All jackals in the whole world howl in the same way. American jackal, Russian jackal, Indian jackal, their voices are the same. So when you realize God, you express in the same way all over the world. The way he mentioned those things is just beautiful. I shall read that passage that Swamiji said, pointing to the universal religion. I accept all religions that were in the past and worship with them all. I worship God with every one of them, in whatever form they worship Him. I shall go to the mosque of the Mohammedans. I shall enter the Christian church and kneel before the crucifix. I shall enter the Buddhist temple, where I shall take refuge in Buddha and in his law. I shall go into the forest and sit down in meditation with the Hindu, who is trying to see the light which enlightens the heart of everyone. Not only shall I do all this, but I shall keep my heart open for all that may come in the future. Is God's book finished? The Bible, the Vedas, the Quran, and all other sacred scriptures are but so many pages, and an infinite number of pages remain yet to be unfolded. I shall leave my heart open for all of them. That is Swamiji. That is Ramakrishna's ideas, universal religion. Asatuma sadgamaya, tamasuma jyotirgamaya, mriturma amritam gamaya, abirabirma edhi, rudra jatte dakshinamukam, tenamam pahi nityam, om shanti shanti shanti. Lead us from the unreal to the real. Lead us from darkness to light. Lead us from death to immortality. Light us through and through, and guide us evermore with thy loving presence. Peace, peace, peace be told.